How sneaky is your peaky? Jabba the Hutt laugh intensifies. Oh lordy, hope my mic sounds okay today.
My mic sound okay today, about all over the place again.
Many of you
Sounds great. Excellent, 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 excellent. We are live. It is Friday. Thank fuck it's Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rom, how the hell are you? We're going to drop the jams down there. I quite literally have been skimming all the YouTube channels we keep up with for carnivore and other things and hilarious entertainment and whatnot, and nobody got a video out. I don't even know what we're going to react to today. Tatiana has a video out about her macros. I think we're going to check that out. We'll take a peeky there. It is 4 p.m. now, right around 4:30. We will take a look at the weigh-in again. If you don't know, weigh-in is already live on Insta, Facebook, TikTok, all the other places. The weigh-in goes live first because, well, that's just the way it works. YouTube will get stuck waiting until 5 o'clock because analytics say so, and it allows me to have the sneaky peek during stream. Sneaky peek wouldn't mean too much. Arlen Hill TikTok vid? Oh, a little TikTok, you say. I'm always afraid to put TikTok stuff on stream because you never know what the hell is going to pop up. Arlen Hill. Oh, tick vid. Okay, you talking actual ticks. You're talking actual ticks. The bite you kind. Not TikTok. I was gonna say I sure don't know about opening TikTok on stream. You never know what pops into that feed, man. Next thing you know, I'm banned from YouTubes. YouTube says no more. Again, for anyone that was here on Wednesday's stream, forgive me for being a little down. I was having a tough day. I was a bit depressed. I thought about taking the VOD down, but for someone who wants to portray an accurate representation of everything I'm doing with the weight loss, I do want to show the down days with the up. So the VOD is going to stay live for that. And yeah, I was bummed out. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing much better today. I had a couple days to think about things, reassess some things, put things in my brain back into place where they go, and yeah, been feeling better. Let's see. I'm gonna look for.
Many of you ask how much I
tick vid land hill tick. Arland Hill tick. Tick may be doing more than introducing alpha guy. Was the plural of tick? Those ticks.
Most people.
I could be wrong or the video could be wrong. I'm probably leaning more towards I'm wrong because, well, that's just generally how it goes for me. Let's move my noggin out the way. We are going to do this second. I want to watch Tatiana's video on macros. It's a nice short one. By the time we react to this back and forth, will probably be time to check out the weigh-in. The weigh-in, aka the never-ending plateau that will not break. Remember when I was stuck, it was the 470s. The 470s and high 460s. I was there for like 6 weeks. It would not end. It just would not end. Absolutely would not end. Starting to get those vibes here. The low 400s are being quite disagreeable. We've had a couple minor stalls on the way down. The 430s, I got jammed up a little bit. The high 430s, low 440s. We kind of stalled out for 2 weeks there, then got right back on track. But yes, stalls, man, stalls. And we're going to talk more on my meat aversion coming up. There's kind of been some new developments there that I'm really kind of freaking out over what to do about. I'm going to have to really kind of get into things here and figure out what to do about that. But I digress. Let's check this video out. We got a lot of cool stuff to look at today.
How much I actually eat in a day, and today
Hola, Friday, Bucky, Friday. How the hell are you?
Eat, breaking down the macros and the exact meals and the amounts of everything that I have. And this is a fun update because I haven't done one since I've been pregnant. So I'm 35 weeks pregnant and I eat mostly carnivore. I've done strict carnivore.
That's crazy. I remember the day she announced that she was finally having a baby, and now it's already been 35 weeks. Not much. Just kind of some roundtable discussion of me and Rom, just kind of figuring out what we're doing for stream today. We're checking out Tatiana's macros. Most of the big carnivore channels and stuff we keep up with on stream just don't have new content out right now. I think it's been a very slow week for content for a lot of people, myself included. I think I only had 3 or 4 videos out this week, but we'll see what happens over the weekend. But not much. You have not missed much. We'll be doing the weigh-in sneak peek here pretty quick. The plateau sneak peek, if you will. So we'll get to that, and we'll figure stuff out. We're going to figure it out as we go. We might. Bear with me here. We might, since there's not a lot of reaction stuff out there today. Maybe we'll react to some spicier stuff. Maybe we'll look at like Tyler Oliveira or Nick Shirley, see if any of those guys have anything cool to look at. Get into the realm of spiciness a bit more than just food corn and carnivore reactions. Maybe we'll check that out. Perhaps we might actually do some gaming today. I don't know about that because I'm still just trying to avoid video games as much as humanly possible because video games make me look like this again. I sit here and look at those and it's just, yeah. Oh, Lego Part 3's out. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I did see, I was watching Asmongold's reaction to that earlier. We could check that out. We'll kind of see what happens there. That whole story just gives me woes, man. I don't know what it is. I just feel like everyone involved is wrong somehow. I feel like everyone except the guy who got his Legos actually stolen from him is kind of just in the wrong. I don't know. We'll probably take a look at that. But, man, I keep moving my big head back in front of me. My big head goes right in the middle of the screen and ain't nobody can see nothing. My body shape has changed. All right.
Carnivore, some days I have a little bit extra inclusions. So let's see.
Yes, extra inclusions, intuitive eating. That's honestly
eat.
One of the biggest things I've done in the last couple months is switching to intuitive eating. So days like today, I've been very hungry today. I already had my 2 meals. I'm sitting at 2,200 calories right now, which will be a 400 deficit. Although, I'm very curious on a BIA scan. Oh, shit. Guess who's a moron? This guy. This kind of a moron. I had one job today, and that was to call and schedule my BIA scan. Guess who did not do that? And now the facility in and of itself is closed till Monday. Lovely. So I'll be scheduling Monday and probably not getting in for a week or 2, which is fantastic. But after what you guys will see today with the weigh-in and some other things we'll talk about, it is time for a BIA scan. I've been due for one for over 2 weeks now. Actually, let's figure out exactly how long it's been. Oh my God, we are overdue. It was March 10th. March 10th is the last time I've had one. So let's see. We're gonna find out real quick. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna let you find out there. Unless the internet's just going to load endlessly.
We're going to be starting with breakfast. I'm going to be making some egg omelets.
And it was wonderful. What's going on, Benny? Benny, the man, the myth, the legend. Okay, so I get my BIA scans every 90 days. Every 90 days is what I am supposed to do. It's a long time in between scans. It sucks waiting. It has now been 122 days since my last one, so I am very, very overdue. So we are definitely gonna get that scan done.
Favorite in this
I am just bummed I did not schedule it today.
I'm going to add a little bit of cream cheese and a little bit of some cheese, and then I also am going to put in ground beef because I like my breakfast to have a ground beef or a beef source. Because if I just...
You know what? And I got thinking about this yesterday. I have been out of ground beef. I have literally been completely out of ground beef for, probably well over a week now. I've been eating nothing but steak and eggs every single day and some chicken. We had some chicken along the way. I had some bacon the other night. So it's not like I'm only steak and eggs, but the vast majority of what I've been eating for the past week plus is steak and eggs. I think that's probably a large part of the aversion I have going on currently.
I'm already more hungry,
but it's a scary aversion. Scary version. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Got to make sure I get in at least a little bit of beef for breakfast.
When are you going on Target Prime Rib show? I believe he was booked out until mid-September, Uncle. I want to say September 19th. I could be wrong on that, but it's for sure in mid-September. However, I will be doing a Dave Mack interview. This will be my third. Oh, well, I might as well announce this to everyone while I'm here. I keep interfering with Tatiana's video here. Speaking of Dave Mack and interviews and all these things, I will be interviewing with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dave Mack for the third time Monday morning. So I don't know. The last time I did an interview with him, he had it out the same day. The time before that, it took like 2 or 3 days for it to come out. So I'm doing the interview Monday. I don't know when it's going to be out. I'm going to assume relatively close to the interview date itself. But Dave Mack's coming up, and as far as your question about Target Prime Rib, that should be in September. Gonna be fun, though. Gonna be fun. We got a lot of cool interviews coming up. I'm reaching out to some other people for perhaps some guidance. I don't know if I want to start doing like interviews on my channel. I'm not good at interviewing people, and I might start asking some risque questions I get people on. I asked some, you guys have seen my stream, I asked some half-wit questions. I've been eating nothing but hamburger the last 5 days. Today I had picanha and lamb chops. Ooh, that sounds good, Benny Bob. That sounds good. When you're going on Dr. Kelsey, I have nothing scheduled with Dr. Kelsey. Not gonna lie, I don't even know who Dr. Kelsey is, to be completely honest with you.
I'm going to show you a little.
No, I haven't the slightest. I haven't the slightest. I am reaching out to some big creators though for some interviews here. We're gonna see if anybody goes for a bite. Anybody goes for a bite on me, that'd be very nice.
They're the good old farm eggs. So let's get cracking. I think I'm going to do.
Lisa, what's going on? How are you?
That should get me either 2 thicker omelets.
One of these days, I'll actually power up the on-screen chat again.
Normal, like.
Dr. Kiltz, I would love to go on with Dr. Kiltz. I would love to go on Dr. Kiltz. I do plan to reach out to him. I plan on reaching out to Dr. Kiltz, Kelly Hogan, Carrie Mann, a lot of the really big channels. But we'll kind of see what happens. We got a few scheduled right now, which is really good. I'm not sure with the Dave Mack interview I'm doing on Monday, whether or not that's going to be my final one. He usually doesn't have people on as many times as I've been on. I thought our second one might be the last one, or maybe we'll just schedule one like way far out. I'm not 100% Uncle. We're going to have to check on that, though. Gonna have to check on it. I probably won't really have any info on that one until Monday. Dr. Kiltz. That man is a little firecracker. He is an absolute little firecracker, dude. That guy is so packed with energy. I missed him. He was literally bouncing all over the place at Meat Stock, and I saw him 100 times. I saw him speak 100 times, but I never got to shake his hand and talk to him. Very unfortunate. One of these days, hopefully next Meat Stock, I'll be able to. How's your stream going so far? Good. I'm energetic. I'm feeling good. It's fancy fucking Friday, and everything is A-okay. So,
oh my gosh, look at that.
No bad vibes.
You see that? The egg yolk is massive. My thumb's covering it. I love local eggs. There's nothing.
Believe it or not, I'm from Poland.
Farm eggs. Absolutely nothing. Can't get like a super good option in the store.
Mad awesome.
Like, this is just superior.
How fancy she stacks the shells on that. Like, dude, that's potent. That's potent.
And then before I filmed this, I also made my husband some breakfast. And so I have 2.5 ounces of ground beef that I saved for myself for these omelets.
Is the music overlapping with the
And then
video,
I'll be
guys?
using
Let me
this whole
know.
glob of cream cheese, which is an ounce.
Bacon grease
Put
jar?
some
I have a
butter
bacon grease
on,
jar. I have a bacon
and
grease
then the
jar.
eggs right on. Perfect. Let this set, and then I'll add my ingredients right on top. There's a few different type of people
Bit
who
of an
benefit
omelet.
from...
Dude, my wifey made me the best omelet the other day. Oh, it was so good, dude. 10-egg omelet. 10-egg omelet with literally nothing but butter and salt in the middle, dude. It was so good. I mean, let's be realistic here for a second. Since it's literally just butter and salt, can you really call it an omelet? Does that qualify as an omelet? You be the judge. You be the judge. You be the
tracking their macros,
judge.
and one is maybe you're beginning carnivore and you are gonna undereat or overeat or whatever it may be, and just kind of trying to find a baseline that is super good for people like that. Or if you're trying to actively gain muscle,
Where are you
then
from?
it's also
Narnia.
great to know how you can implement increasing your calories over time on carnivore.
It's one of the biggest things, my guys. I wish I could just add cheese back in. I would kill to be able to add cheese back into my diet, but I think I can't control
Tracking
myself when it
macros
comes
is also
to that.
great if you're trying to lose
I
weight,
don't
so
believe
you
I can
know
control
exactly
myself
where
when
you
it comes
are.
to the sweet allure of
If
cheese.
the whole like eating intuitively on carnivore is not working out for you, then you can utilize the tool of tracking macros. However, I do not do this on a daily basis. I focus on eating quality foods until I am full, and then I am done. Breakfast is
From
served
US.
and
There
done.
you go.
I'm ready
There
to
you go.
dig in.
America.
This was 6 eggs. It turned into 2 omelets, and I made, or I used 1 ounce of cream cheese and 2 ounces of pepper jack cheese.
Cream cheese in an omelet is a bold play. I've never actually even considered something like that, but that does sound good. Cheese is the crack of the carnivore world. It truly is. Truly is. Discord, never heard of it. Yeah, cheese is rough. I'm a Heinz 57 of Europe. I know that I have Polish, Czech, and German. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff, man. My family tree is insane. Mostly Polish, mostly Polak. Got some Canadian in there, some Native Americans, UK. I think that's it. None of the Ooga Booga speaking countries. None of the French or Spanish or none of that. Portuguese? You don't look like a Portugueseman. You don't look like a Portugueseman at all. Hey, Lisa, we're just going to ban you real quick. I was having fun messing with you for a second over there, but we're just going to ban you. We're just going to ban you. Y'all got to get a better playbook when it comes to trying to hustle emotes and stuff like that. You really do. You really got to get a better playbook. I don't know whose little pitch sheet you're following here to try and sell your little emotes. It sucks, though. As a guy who was a territory sales manager for many years, your pitch sucks. Work on your own. Be better. Get the hell out of my stream. Banhammer accomplished, friends. Back to the video.
Butter. I was way too hungry. I just got to eating that omelet. It was delicious. Well, the 2 omelets. And then now I'm going to break it down for you on what that breakfast looked like for me. That was 1,007 calories. That was 75 grams of protein.
Not bad. Maybe I should start making
fat,
omelets.
and 6 grams of carbs with the cheese, the cream cheese, and the 2 grams that are in 6 eggs.
That's really not bad
the
for.
funny
Wait,
thing
did she
is,
eat both
I probably
omelets?
could eat more.
I'm assuming she ate both,
if I
right?
really needed to, really wanted
assuming.
to. I can eat a lot in one meal. And so if that's not you, if you eat like smaller meals, that's totally fine. I've just been eating this way.
I used to. I was a rabbit / grazer for so long. I truly was. I never really had massive. I do like one massive meal a day for the evening time, but like throughout the day it was just snack, stack. I'd have tiny little snacks, but just 30 of them. Garlic butter shrimp omelet sounds good. See, I love eggs. I love shrimp. I just feel those are 2 things that don't belong together. She nice with it. Plankton shrimp? I don't know, man. I just shrimp and eggs just it doesn't sound like a good combination to me. Floor, I'm not sure what word is supposed to be. Floor. Plankton shrimp. I love shrimp. I love eggs, but together, probably gonna pass on that one.
6 years. And so I've grown pretty adapted to eating these larger meals. So don't think you're eating, a weird way or whatever, but just know we're all kind of on different journeys. We're all in different times, different timelines, and I've been doing this for a while, and that's just kind of how it works for me. I eat 2 really big meals and then 1 a lot smaller. That's just kind of how I like it. It is now lunchtime, and I'm going to have some of my homemade bone broth. This is super collagenous, gelatinous, whatever you want to call it. It is just like full of, you can just like feel it jiggling.
I need to get back on my broth game. I need to get some oxtail and make a fresh batch of beef broth, bone broth, oxtail broth, whatever you want to call it. I do need to make another batch here soon. Really do. I'm down to my last mason jar of it. I've also not really been utilizing it for much. I kind of forgot it even existed, I'm not going to lie, for the past 2 months or so. I should probably check if that last jar is even edible still, but time will tell. Time will tell.
Full of so much good benefits for my skin, for my hair, for, you know, the baby's health, for just so much, you know? But since I am tracking this whole thing for you, I'm going to measure out exact amounts of this fat cap. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. And then I'm also
you get that
going
nice
to
fat
weigh
cap
out
in there with your own broth.
liquid that I'm gonna drink. I usually don't drink this full jar. I usually drink like a 16-ounce pint jar, not the 32 ounces. So
one thing I have found, so she's going to heat this broth up and just have it as a nice drink. It's delicious. Drinking broth like that is absolutely delicious. I feel like if you have stomach issues like I do, I don't have stomach issues. I have GI tract issues. Everything from the gallbladder back ain't fantastic. So since those issues, if I drink broth super, super warm, my BMs are not fun for the next day. My wife asked me to make shrimp fried rice for her. I said my skills are too rusty. What skills do you mean? You cook all the time. I can't remember how to train the shrimp. You telling me a shrimp fried this rice? My God.
probably do like,
You're telling me. You're looking at me in the eyes and you're telling me to shrimp fried this rice.
let's write that down. so we
Boys,
don't
this is
forget.
getting hot in this room.
Okay, I got the amounts written
It's
down.
getting
We are going to
toasty
heat
in
this
this
up
room.
on the stovetop. While I heat up the bone broth, I'm going to get started on dinner. I'm going to be making a soup, and I'm going to use some soup bones, some ground beef meatballs, the mini ones that I've been loving, that I'm sure some of you have seen, and then also some stew meat. And so cook it all together, and then for this video,
Oh, yeah, I
I'll go
forgot.
ahead
They just
and
bought a half
take
cow
each
recently.
individual
More power
part
to
out
them.
and measure them. I'm going to be using a enameled cast iron pot, and I'm going to make it on the stovetop today. And then if I feel like it's not tenderizing as fast, then I will toss it in one of my Dutch ovens and speed up the process that way. Normally I'm able to get a really beautiful sear on the meat before I combine everything.
I cooked 2 steaks right before. Ooh,
some of
stew
the
meat.
meat
I
was
love stew
frozen,
meat.
so that was kind of tricky, but it still adds flavor by cooking it a little bit ahead of time. And so that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting some stew meat in now, and it is so beautiful and rich. And the last time I made this soup, I think I showed you guys. Oh, it
Man, I
tasted
need to try
so,
carnivore
so
soup.
good. I love adding different textures.
I'm gonna
If
need
you
to
are on
find.
carnivore-
So I'm truly gonna have to find some new ways of doing carnivore here pretty quick. My meat aversion is getting pretty severe. It's getting real. Eggs. I'm not feeling eggs anymore. I'm not feeling steak anymore. I haven't had ground beef in a while. I'm sure ground beef would be fantastic right now. I would love some ground beef. Me too. It's one of our best sources of minerals and glycerin. Yeah, glycine. I don't know why I said glycerin. TNT. I really don't know how to tackle my current meat aversion. I don't. I think just trying to diversify carnivore as much as possible, like we talked about on Wednesday loosely too. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to do this, but I do think within the next couple weeks, I do think that keto is on the horizon. I do believe I'm going to be giving up carnivore for a while and going back to the realm of keto. Still doing everything right, still doing the high fat, still doing tons and tons and tons of meat, but I am going to start adding a bunch of veggies back in. Number one, to see what it does with my gallbladder, helps with my BMs, all that stuff. See if we can improve that just a little bit. I think would be really, really good. I want to see if it can help with my meat aversion too. That's going to open up the door to so many things. I don't think I'm going to be doing any fruit. I will not do any fruit. I will just be doing some veg. But I think that's the direction we're heading because I don't want to risk staying the line on carnivore and trying to be this perfect carnivore so bad and then literally ending up with a meat aversion so bad that I start craving junk food and bullshit and pastas and all that stuff and deep fried shit. I think that's where I'm heading. I truly think that's where I'm heading with the meat aversion. It's going to stack up to that point. Roasted broccoli, hell yeah, brother. I'm talking some avocado, maybe a little broccoli, just a little bit of stuff. Hear me out. Crushed pork skins, egg wash, fried meat. Yeah. Can't leave them. I don't know. I'm going to have to do something because the aversion's going to screw me. I'm afraid to go to keto because I feel like I go to keto and start eating veg again. It's going to throw everything off. It's going to make me gain or stall even harder. I don't know. It's very confusing, very trying times. That does sound very good, Rob. That does sound very, very good. But I think that's honestly it. I think keto is probably on the horizon here. Again, not permanently, just to see what happens, just to see if, number one, it helps the gallbladder. Because I got to do something with the gallbladder. I got to do something with the lack of gallbladder. I can't keep living like this with the GI stuff. I just can't do it. Again, I'll spare everyone the dirty details. But life without a gallbladder is not too fun when you're eating, close to 200 grams of fat. There's only so much your body can do at that point. So I'm very curious if re-adding veg is going to help with that. I am leaning more to, I keep saying keto. I don't like putting labels on things. I really don't. Like, you're not strict keto. You're not a strict carnivore. I can't stand that shit. I think the direction I'm heading isn't keto, but ketovore. So essentially keto, but under 20 net grams of carbs a day. Staying under 20 the whole time, which shouldn't be difficult. You can load up on so much veg and not have to worry about that. But for scientific purposes, I think that's what we're going to do. Again, I got a couple weeks to think about it, but the more time goes by, the more this meat aversion just stacks up and builds and transforms into something new. And I'm just terrified I'm going to fall off the wagon and eat bad stuff. So just the amount, I'm sure Ridge will confirm. I mean, the amount you can diversify what you're eating just by adding back a few simple veggies and different cuts of meat. And even what Rom's saying, crushed pork skins, carnivore soups, stuff like that. I need to start getting more creative. Maybe we'll start looking at a lot of, like Chris Cooking Nashville. We'll start looking at a lot of his stuff. He's got some crazy carnivore recipes. Maybe we'll look at that after the tick video and we check that out. What time is it? 4:30. It's probably, yeah, you know what? Let's minimize out Tatiana. We're going to do the weigh-in sneak peek. It's almost 4:30. This is the weigh-in for July 10th, 2026. This was today's weigh-in. It will be live on YouTube in 30 minutes, but we will do the sneak peek right now to give everyone a look and let everyone know if I was able to break this goddamn never-ending plateau. I was afraid that you're going to say you're going to start eating those nasty processed keto-friendly foods. Oh, hell no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why is that played all the way? What? Saith what? There we go. There we go. All right. Make sure the music's all the way down. I'm going to shut right up, and this is the weigh-in sneaky peek for the day. Friday is here, and I'm back to see if this horrendous 3-week stall has ended. Powering on the XL 700.
Hello.
Hello, scale. Let's see if we're heading in the right direction this week.
It's ready.
I was 410.8. You can see that big red splotch on my stomach right there. Something bit the hell out of me, dude. I think a spider got in my bed or something and just zapped my gut. On Monday's surprise weigh-in. Let's see where we ended up.
410.8 pounds.
All right.
Surprise, mofos, we didn't do anything.
Needlessly to say, the stall is still very active. We didn't.
First of a kind weigh-in. First of a kind weigh-in. We did absolutely nothing. We did not gain. We did not lose. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. It sucks. This is now a month to be installed. Being stalled for a month sucks, but that didn't gain. So that's good. That's good.
Budge in either direction. That's not 0.1 down. That's not 0.1 up. On a positive note, we didn't gain anything, so that's really, really good. However, the stall has now continued and expanded out to 4 weeks. Thank you for your service today, Scale. We'll check in next week. This stall is now a month long. I've been fluctuating between
GLP
low
mark?
407 to high 411, so we're almost in this 5-pound band of just up,
Y'all
down,
got them
up,
GLPs.
Down, up, down. I'm not getting frustrated. For the past 3 weeks, I've been putting in a lot more effort at the gym. I've been pushing a lot harder, making sure I'm getting minimum at least 3 days a week in with lifting, cardio, all sorts of fun stuff. So from that, I do believe I'm still retaining a lot of water. I can just kind of tell looking at my legs right now.
I realize I hold
have
my
a lot
legs
of
up for an
inflammation
example, but I
still,
have the
a lot of
text
water
over it
retention.
completely.
So we're going to have to figure that out. I think the most solid course of action right now is to have a BIA scan done. In fact, the minute I finish this video, I'm going to request one from my weight loss doctor.
He, in fact, did not call his weight loss doctor when he was done making this and scheduled the BIA. He forgot completely. Simple man. What a simple man.
Doctor. That way we
Get a
can
load of
very,
this
very
guy.
good look at what's going on with my muscle mass. If that's coming up, that's causing the stalls, and just get an overall really good read. That'll also show water retention as well. So we'll check in next week. I'm not frustrated. It's up to a month now that this little fluctuation's been going on, so it is what it is. I digress. We got to keep pushing forward. We got to keep doing the right thing every day. I got to keep hitting my deficit. I got to keep the gym going. I just got to keep pushing forward. If you guys are working on your health and losing weight, please let me know in the comments how your guys' week went, and we'll check in soon.
Isn't summer weight gain from water retention normal? Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. Also, like I said, I have been, if you guys have been watching the videos, I have been going very, very hard in the gym. I've been putting in a lot of work in the gym the last couple weeks. Excuse me. I'm doing a lot of lifting. I've been doing a lot of cardio. I've been doing a lot of pool. I need the BIA. I need the BIA scan to see what's going on with my muscle mass. I do. Unique weigh-in, though. There's definitely a unique weigh-in. It's the stress. Wow, dude, my stress levels are always through the roof. My stress levels are... This is the inside of my brain constantly, just talking to myself, but everything's doing this the whole time. If this makes any sense, if you ever dealt with like self-doubt and inner dialogue and all that stuff, literally see what I'm saying? Like there's just a voice in my head that's constantly doing this, but it's going, and that's definitely a large part of it, Rob. It's definitely a very large part of it. The stress is not helping. The stress is not helping. I sure as hell don't know what to do about it, though. I really don't, because I have some indomitable tasks that I need to figure out, and I don't know how to figure them out. I don't know how to figure them out. I really don't. Working on it, though. I'm working on it. I got the right start. Right start for everything, I think. No, we're going to find out. But yeah, stress definitely didn't help him. Mrs. HGA's put you on a clock, too. Oh, yeah. I'm coming up on deadlines here. I'm going to have to be back to some things here pretty quick. Which, I put it this way, everything I've qualified for and looked into that has a decent price tag attached to it seems to be getting taken by H-1B visas. Fun topic for a different day. We'll get around to that at some point.
Go for it. Add different meats. Certain cuts of beef even have different flavor profiles, so it's really fun to mix it up. I obviously like to add my...
Do you think your resting metabolism or calories daily is down a good bit because of weighing a lot less? I'm extremely curious about that myself, Bucky. Extremely curious about that. That's another reason I need that BIA, because that will give me my RMR rate, resting metabolic rate. So again, this BIA that I critically need to have to see what's going on with muscle mass and my resting metabolism. Excuse me. I forgot to schedule today. So that sucks. That really, really sucks. I'm going to write like 10 sticky notes and just put them on my computer monitors down here. Is that first thing Monday morning, I send the message in and hopefully get that sorted out. I hope. I truly hope, but we'll have to wait till Monday. Usually the last time I called in and scheduled a BIA, they got me in within like 4 days. So hopefully they'll be able to this time. God, I know it doesn't look like it. I am pouring sweat. It is so hot in this room right
Bare
now.
bones, it adds a lot of good flavor.
I have an itty bitty fan that's not doing much.
A lot of good nutrients, and having that marrow just in the soup mix also just makes it much more collagenous. And then, of course, once everything is all done and added, we will add our filtered water. We will not add tap water that has yucky chemicals and fluoride and chlorine. We want some clean water.
Speak for yourself about your tap water. I have beautiful tap water. The benefits of having your own well cannot be understated.
Into our food. Cannot boil out chlorine or many other harsh chemicals. This lovely meal of a just jam-packed little cup is totaling out. I'm going to refer to my little note card. Is totaling out at 658 calories, 24 grams of protein, and 62 grams of fat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, Bucky, if my RMR is down like 200 or 300 calories. What was it on the last one?
Which is usually what a lot of the apps will use. And then I separated it. I was at
2658 on the last one.
Separated it, weighed it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm down to like 2300. And if I am, if my RMR is down to a 2300, I really got to start eating less. Then I really got to work on the deficit because I'm right on that 22 to 2300 border like every single day. Do you think the overall weekly activity load might be the same even with the extra gym sessions at extreme extensity because your beat and everything in between, even if you don't really notice it, is being done less intensity? I tried this week to lessen the intensity. I'm struggling this week though. I torqued my back this morning. I had every intention to go to the gym today and I ended up not going. I was just going to go for my normal cardio loop. I was going to go do elliptical, swim, hot tub, sauna, and call it good. And my back is hurting so bad I didn't even do that. So I really... Cool, I might be getting some rain in 30 minutes. Oh, man, I would kill for a thunderstorm to roll through and drop at about 15 degrees. That would be so cool. That would be so cool, man. But, wishing one hand, shit in the other. See which pile gets bigger.
I didn't use chronometer because chronometer can be a little...
But yeah, my levels of intensity, Bucky, it's definitely something I'm looking at because I don't know if I can sustain what I'm doing right now.
And it is just...
I don't know if I can or not.
So I'm going to serve my portions up.
And if I end up hurting a back or a knee or something, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Just so I can give you guys an appropriate amount of how much I actually eat. I was very surprised about the total numbers of the macros for my full day of eating. So it was very interesting to record this. 2 ounces of ground beef meatballs, 4 ounces of stew meat, 1.5 of some soup bones and meat.
Soup bone meat.
And then... probably do like 2 to 3 ladles.
I feel like for me, what she's making right now would literally be a potion of shit your whole pants off without my gallbladder, but I don't know, maybe I could do
that I ate today. And
perhaps I could do it.
Breakdown of everything. I will go over it. Just really quick. Meal 1 was that 1,007 calories, 75 protein, 77 grams of fat, and 6 grams of carbs. And then my meal 2 was the bone broth in that.
See, I feel like cheese would be okay in my diet, but I just
24
wouldn't.
grams of protein and 62 grams of fat because I did consume all of that fat cap. I usually always
How is the protein so low on our second meal? That doesn't make
was
sense.
520 calories and 74 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat and 0 carbs. And for a grand total,
I feel like the protein on that second one was really low, but that could just be me.
How much I actually eat is total calories is 2,185.
She eats very similar to how I do.
And the protein that
very similar. Those numbers look like dead on to what mine look like every day.
And then fat was 100.
We get there by a very different route, but very similar numbers.
With 6 grams of carbs. And so that is exactly what I eat in a day for a full day. Each day can be slightly different, obviously, because I eat different things, and some days I'm craving more, and some days I'm craving less. But I thought since I am 35 weeks pregnant, since I am, just eating a mostly carnivore diet, I wanted to share with you guys. I haven't shared one of these in a long time, so I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any comments, questions, let me know down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.
Good video, good video. Love to see that. Love to see macro breakdowns and stuff like that. I need to do some more stuff like that myself. All right. We're going to take a look at this right now. This is a ROM request. This is a ROM video request coming at you live. A ROM video request. This is about ticks and alpha-gal and other things. We're going to sub. We're going to give a thumbs up. We're going to slap the play button on this bad boy.
Simply introduced alpha-gal into the body. But what if that's only part of the story? What if the tick was also changing the immune system itself and creating an environment that was far more reactive?
Well, not only can it just punch alpha-gal into you, it can punch in Lyme disease and Babesia and Rocky Mountain spotted fever and all sorts of fun things. Again, nature's dirty hypodermic needle coming at you.
Active to alpha-gal. One of the strangest things about alpha-gal syndrome is just how inconsistent it behaves from person to person. Some individuals react extremely violently to alpha-gal. Others seem to only have relatively mild symptoms. Pretty big contrast. You also notice that some individuals seem to improve over time, their symptoms seem to lessen, but yet you have others that seem to become increasingly more reactive over that same time frame. And you'll have folks that only react to red meat, while others seem to react to dairy and gelatin and other.
I've been seeing a lot more about that, where everyone thinks it's just red meat, but people are starting to have problems with a lot of other stuff too. I haven't put mega amounts of time or research into alpha-gal. I know how bad it is, but luckily, I basically live in a region of the country that doesn't have to worry about it too much. It's Lyme disease central up here, but that's the real risk for us up here in the Northeast.
It seems like there's really no consistency in the observation. And then you also add to that the complexity of factoring in how stress, getting sick, having inflammation in the body, poor sleep habits, anything that can alter the immune system also seems to affect the severity of alpha-gal syndrome. So that makes us start to look at alpha-gal a bit differently, and it raises an important question here, which is that, is the tick simply introducing alpha-gal, or is it also influencing how the immune system is functioning?
That's the immune system. It
Alpha-gal syndrome is strongly
but it could be one of like 8 other
especially
diseases
from
they
the
can
Lone Star
transmit
tick.
as well.
No doubt that is the part of the story that is the most understood by everyone. But it's not where the story ends at, especially as it relates to the tick. One of the things that we want to factor in here is that the saliva from the tick.
Ticks are also damn near invincible. They're like the hardest to kill bugs there is. You have to kill them like 40 plus times to get them to die once. It's insane. You can't crush a tick. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're Brian Shaw. You can't crush a tick. You can't do it. You can't do it. They will simply spring back to life. They're made out of elastic. They do not care. You cannot crush them. I watched someone try to crush a tick on a video a few days ago. Of course, couldn't do it because, again, you can't crush a tick. It's not possible. They literally hit it with a spot welder. They hit it with a spot welder, and the little shit lived the first while. You see the arc hit it from the welder, and it just jumps up and flies like 2 feet across the bucket they're doing it in. And yeah, they have to hit it a second time with the stick welder. And I don't even know if that got it. Like, they're so invincible, it's horrifying.
Is not simply the route of introduction of alpha-gal, but it is also a very biologically active substance. How so? Well, there's a couple of ways. One is that it has compounds in it that are going to modulate the immune system. It also contains what are called
Oh, yeah, like that magic one my wife had to take. I know the exact one you talk of. I'm a pureblood myself. Yes, yes, yes. There are none of us who didn't take that vaccine that regret it. None of us.
Prostaglandins. Prostaglandins influence inflammation in the body. They influence how the immune system behaves and reacts. It also
I
contains
am, in
something
fact, still a
called
pureblood,
complement
but unfortunately, my wife, to keep her job, to keep making a living, keep income coming in, had to take it. She was forced to take it.
And these are going to be molecules that are going to suppress your own natural defenses against the tick and what it's introducing. And these are going to be molecules
forced by your employer, Rich. Yeah, it was the same scenario for a lot of people, man. Same scenario for a lot of people. I was very lucky. I wanted no part of it. I wanted absolutely no part of it. Even if they had said it was how you come off layoff. I mean, the whole company I worked for at the time went completely under during COVID. They ended up selling off the whole place. So there was nothing to go back to. There was no, oh, if you want to come back, you have to get this. It was over. It was over. There was nothing to go back for. If I was presented back then with either the option of taking it and going back or not taking it, I still feel like I probably would have refused. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if you're not in that situation. It really is. Really is.
Are capable of shifting the immune response more towards an allergic type of response. This is often what's talked about as a Th2 dominant type of response. If you think about this, just to kind of back out for just
how is your fancy Friday treating you? We're just we're perusing the internet. We're watching all sorts of cool videos about macros, and right now we're looking at alpha-gal, ticks, and all of the other fun components that they can blast into your system because, well, ticks are made out of pure hate, pure unadulterated hatred, awful creatures. I don't use the word hate often in life. But if there's one thing I truly hate, it's ticks. I hate them with a fiery passion. They ruin my life. To a large degree, ticks ruin my life.
A second here. Ultimately, what...
Yeah, fuck ticks.
Fuck 'em.
Pardon my French. Say it again.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck them. What you doing? What?
Coffee.
Ah. A kafal.
A kafal.
I'm going for a kafal.
I'm going for a kafal. Your hair is...
Oh, I got Shirley Temple curls.
Oh.
I know. I got the literal Shirley Temple curls.
You have the Shirley Temple.
It's hard for you guys to see it on stream. Let me see if I can puff it out a little bit here. It's hard to tell. I literally got the Shirley Temple curls right now. They are, man, we need a final solution for ticks. Yes, we absolutely do. End them all. Literally end them all. You can't. They're invincible. They are freaking invincible. Like the only thing I can do, the ones I pull off of me, they go straight in the toilet because you can't crush them. You can't burn them. Like there's just nothing you can do. You literally have to just drown them. I think is the only possible way. SAAT therapy seems to be working for alpha-gal. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I actually never heard of that, but that's awesome to hear. It's good there's something turning it around. Because, man, I feel bad. See, I'm on the other end of the tick equation. I've been dealing with chronic Lyme disease myself for, well, 10 years now. Longer than 10 years. Wifey says much longer. So I've been dealing with the other end of the tick spectrum, and, man, it's no fun. I feel bad for everyone dealing with alpha-gal, but, man, Lyme, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, babesia, all that fun stuff, man. They have all of it. They have all of it. I think I did. I think we probably got rid of the babesia.
Yeah.
100%. I don't know.
Shirley Temple, baby. Shirley.
I know. It's beautiful. It's acupuncture in the ear, and you wear a needle for like 6 weeks. Interesting. I tried. See, actually, that's funny you say that because for my Lyme disease. Sorry, I put too much emphasis on the syllable there. My mom, back then when I was first dealing with the Lyme, actually paid for a bunch of sessions for me to go and have acupuncture done for the Lyme itself. Sadly, I didn't really see any benefits, but if it's working for alpha-gal, that's awesome. And that's a very, very good treatment too. You're not pumping yourself full of meds or chemicals or any of that crazy stuff. So it's good to hear. Good to hear that something's working for it. It really is. Can I see your thing before you go? Just before you go. I really don't care. You always turn it off.
Always.
Okay, that's all I needed. Mute. No, all right, I've returned. We met at Meat Stock. You were taking a pic with the bear, and I asked us to get another. Which one was the bear? Hey, no, I remember. I absolutely remember. How are you? Sorry, I didn't match the name to it.
I remember too.
She remembers. She remembers. Oh, yeah, I remember the pictures with the bear. That was so much fun. There was a couple of them. They had a couple bears floating around that place. It was so cool. I'm so pumped for 2027. However, I am going to say I realize why it's moving to Nashville. It needs a bigger facility to house all the people that are going to be there for 2027. I'm assuming the sheer amount of people there is going to be mind-boggling on the next one. I'm going to miss Gatlinburg, though. Gatlinburg was such a fun town. I don't know if you got a lot of time to go out and actually explore the town and all the sights to see and all the mountain coasters and all that fun stuff. But we spent a lot of time. The minute the conference ended for the day, we were out exploring town. We were literally just walking town from, I don't know, we'd walk to the town for probably an hour or two. The guy running it, Scott. His name is Scott. Scott is the one that runs it. 6,000 people? That's utterly crazy. See, I'm going to miss, I think one of the most fun things for me about Meat Stock is how close-knit it felt. It was just small enough where there was tons and tons of people there. Nashville is a giant pile of I am avoiding that for the locals. Yeah, I feel that. I'm just going to miss the quaint, fun little town of Gatlinburg. We actually already decided that when we go next year, we're going to go to the event. We're going to do the weekend at the event, but we decided instead of flying into Nashville for 2027, we're going to fly into Knoxville. We're going to get a rental car, and then we're going to drive to Nashville. We're going to do our 3 days at the event. We're going to do maybe a little exploring in Nashville, probably not much. It's not like Gatlinburg where you can go walk it. But we decided we're going to do the 3 days at the event, and then once we leave the event, we're going to drive the rental back over to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge because there's like 80 things we missed there. There's like 80 things. The event center is expensive. The parking just for the event is like $35 a day. Good gravy. Yeah, I have a feeling this year is going to be incredibly expensive across the board. I feel like this new place they're taking it to is just going to be super, super expensive. Good guy. I thought parking was bad in Gatlinburg. We were paying $10 for parking in Gatlinburg, and I was complaining the whole time. 35 sucks, but that's our plan. We're gonna do the 3-day event in Nashville. As far as I know, I talked to Scott. As far as I know, I actually am a speaker. I am a speaker on one of the panels for 2027. I am very excited for that. They are running a panel on food addiction. I'm super excited to be on that. Me and Kylie Stafford's going to be on there as well. I'm not sure who the other participants are going to be, but I'm curious to see. I'm actually super curious to see if they're going to have someone on that doesn't think food addiction's a thing to argue the counterpoint, because I will destroy them. I will do that. Oh, Kylie's a sweetheart. I love Kylie and Josh. They are just absolutely amazing people. They are both sweethearts. The cheapest rooms are $250 a day, so it'll be $1,000 for 4 days. Oh my God, we're gonna have to stay like way outside the town. We're gonna have to stay way outside of Nashville then, because we can't afford $250 a night. That's insane. I fully believe that food is an addiction. Oh, absolutely. I'm working on a long form YouTube video right now about food addiction. I've been saying it's going to be out for weeks, but it turns out it's taken a lot of work to get this thing going. But the biggest thing, I mean, picture food addiction versus drug addiction. When you stop eating heroin, when you stop eating heroin, got my lines crossed there. But when you stop using something like heroin, you don't drive down the street and everywhere you look is like buy one, get one free heroin, jumbo size heroin here. Whereas when you're eating and you have a food addiction like I do, and you just want to stuff your face full of all these bad things that are surrounding you all the time. And what percentage of businesses do you think that you drive past on a daily basis are food? Or advertising food, or say buy one get one pizzas, or jumbo fries, or just how many signs outside, and the level of exposure that you are presented with is absolutely insane. It just never goes away. Food addiction is real for sure. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The system is working exactly as intended. It sure is, Ridge. It sure is. My ex did a 180-degree flip from carnivore and then to fast food, and it messed up her mental health so bad that she would want to commit herself. Good God, I bet. See, I'm kind of struggling right now, and we were talking earlier in the stream today. I have been struggling for about a week now. I'm starting to have pretty severe meat aversion. I am right around 270 days carnivore. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go look at my paperwork, but I think I'm around 270 days carnivore, and I'm starting to have really bad meat aversions. Steak even, stuff like that. I for 3 or 4 days now, just nothing has tasted good to me. Steak, eggs, bacon, whatever it may be, that's like my normal go-to stuff on carnivore. I've really been struggling lately. And we were kind of talking a strategy for me earlier to try and figure it out. I think I'm never going to revert back to the standard American diet. There's no way. I've come way too far and lost way too much weight to even consider something like that. But I am considering, coming up soon, I am considering possibly going the ketovore route just to kind of change things up and see if that can help with my meat aversion. Carnivore has been giving me a lot of gut issues lately. I do not have a gallbladder, and I don't think my body is able to adapt fully to running fat. I have constant just GI bowel issue stuff. So we are considering some changes coming up, but those changes will be tailored more towards like ketovore and stuff like that. But it's rough. Getting a meat aversion when you eat carnivore is like, what do you do at that point? What do you do? And I have been changing it up. I ended Lion Diet a little while back. I've been introducing not a ton of new foods. I've reintroduced chicken, pork, butter, and eggs are the only things I've reintroduced, and some seasonings. Get sick of steak, crab, and butter. Would like to chat. Dude, I would love some crab and butter, but whoo! Crab expensive. You know what? I haven't had ground beef in probably a week and a half or 2 weeks. I do need to get back on the ground beef train. I just didn't want to go out and grab any. We're going to wait till our big shop. I like just doing bulk grocery shops, so I do need to get going on the ground beef again. Chicken has been helping a lot. I cannot stop eating chicken. I did chicken for like 2.5 days in a row because after not having it for that long, it was so good. On the docket this evening, I have a big old fillet of salmon upstairs, so I am going to reintroduce some salmon this evening. I'm super excited about that. Curious to see if all those good omega-3s and stuff are really going to help me start feeling better, emotionally especially. I've always noticed that when I reincorporate seafood after taking breaks, that it just makes me feel better. It really does. I don't know if it's the omegas or what's going on. Something about seafood truly helps me, though. It really, really does. All right. Well, we took about a 20-minute break from the video. Mushroom and pork butt stew ram. That sounds absolutely delicious. That sounds utterly delicious. We eat so much more chicken right now. Chicken thighs, fried skin on, bone in a nice lard or tallow bath, and the skin is crispy. Dude, keto simple. I'm telling you, that's exactly what I do. Skin on, bone in, chicken thighs. It is so good. It's so good. I just give them a little bit of tallow, and I do mine in the air fryer. Oh, my God, they turn out so good. They turn out so good. Make sure everyone's staying hydrated today. I am actually behind on my hydration. I'm only working on my second 32 ounces for the day right now.
What this means is that the tick...
Now, I need to get some electrolytes in me as well. I can just tell. They're $179 a pound here. We're super close to that here. Yeah, we're super close to that here. They're so good. You're still getting great fat. You're still getting great fat off those chicken thighs, too. They're so good. You want to come up here? You want to come say hi? Come on. Come on. Come say hi to everybody. I need to scoop you up. Come on. Come on. Trying to convince the dog to come say hi to everybody. Come here. You want to jump? You want to jump up? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. Ready? Oh, we got a puppy. We got a puppy. Look who came to say hi. Look who requested some screen time. We got Mr. Kenworth in the house. Mr. Kenworth is in the house. Hi. Hi. Hello, puppy. Mwah. Hello, puppy. What you doing? What you doing? Pretty much my wife left the house, so he's my dog again. Whenever my wife is home, he doesn't come near me. He wants nothing to do with me. I am only the second option when wifey is gone. Hello, Baba. Hello, Baba. You look tired. You look tired. Say hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. There's a whole bunch of people watching you, and your little peanut brain doesn't even know. Your little peanut brain doesn't even know. All right, we're going to plop him on the desk. Electrolytes are very important to overall well-being. Yes, I always make sure to tackle my electrolytes. Digestive bitters before eating, it increases bioproduction in the liver. I have not tried digestive bitters. I am using ox bile extract, Geek. I am using ox bile extract, and that does appear to be helping quite a bit. I'm new here. Can you get a jig? Send me the link. I'm subscribed. Well, thank you so much for that, Keto Simple. I truly appreciate that. We try to have some fun around here. We try and keep things nice and light and funny as much as we can. We talk carnivore. We talk weight loss. We talk emotions, depression, all that fun stuff. And, well, not that depression's fun, but we cover a broad array of topics here. We listen to good music when we can. We do a little bit of video gaming on Fridays sometimes. We keep it nice and different. Hold on. Puppy needs to get down. Boink. And he's off. That's all I'll see of the dog for the next few hours, sadly. Wifey will come home and he will be her dog again. No longer my puppy. No longer my puppy. You can get chicken quarters for 45 cents a pound here, sold in 10-pound bags. Ooh, Ron, that sounds nice. I need to check more. So there is a food resource store. It's a restaurant supply store, but it's open to the public. We have one here that's open to the public, and I know they have chicken thighs, skin on, bone in. You have to buy 50 minimum. You got to do at least 50 at a time, but I need to look at the price. I'm sure. Before you go out from the trail, try sauces, brining, so on. Yeah. No, that's another thing I'm going to do too. I have been reintroducing some seasonings. I've been doing garlic again. I've been doing quite a few other things. If you want to come chat with me on Saturday Live, let me know. I talk about the same stuff. I would love to, Keto Simple. I would love to. My business email, if you look in my profile, on my YouTube page, there is a link tree. There's a big clickable link that's a link tree. My business email is in there. This Saturday I cannot, but I would definitely love to. I would love to do a live with you. Just let me know. Maybe we'll get together and figure some stuff out and coordinate a date and go from there. I'm going to have a lot of interviews coming up. I am interviewing with Dave Mack. Me and Dave Mack are doing another interview on Monday. It will not be live. It is going to be a pre-recorded one. I have Dave Mack coming up on Monday. I have Patrick Alexander, health coach. He's coming up here in a little bit. I have Target Prime Rib coming up. Woo! That's a lot of work. That's a lot of interviews. Costco sells their raw chicken in boxes for $49. That's not bad. No, Dave Mack is so much fun. He is so much fun. You know, I had no idea that Dave Mack speaks fluent Japanese. I had no idea he lived in Japan. It was so fun, though. I saw one video where he was talking Japanese the whole time. It was so cool, so cool. He's such an interesting fellow. He really is. Very excited to go talk to him again. We kind of decided back in the beginning, this will be my third one. I think I interviewed last August or September. I saw him again in February this year, I believe, and then we'll be doing this one. Thomas is awesome. Yeah, he seems super cool. I'm just kind of getting into his stuff and seeing what he does, but I'm very excited to be on him as well. He was booked out pretty far. I think my appearance with him is going to be like mid-September, which bring on mid-September because it is so hot in the Northeast right now. It has been so hot up here the last couple days. Hot and humid. Ugh, I may have the beautiful curls going right now. The entire back of my neck is just sweat right now. It is so hot. And I have a little baby fan trying to cool it down in here. All right, let's get back to alpha gal.
A delivery source for alpha gal syndrome. It may be creating an environment that
Dr. Kiltz in October, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be so much fun. Dr. Kiltz, I think the only way, if someone had to make me explain Dr. Kiltz in one word, it would be firecracker. He is an absolute firecracker. That man is so packed full of energy. He is just spring-loaded, and I'm so bummed I didn't really get an opportunity to talk to him at Meat Stock. Every time I saw him or found him, was or near him, he had like 10 people around him. It was in the depths of conversation, and I just didn't want to barge in. A lot of people I missed at Meat Stock. There's a lot of people I missed. Ken Berry, I got to meet very, very quickly. Kelly Hogan, I got to spend a bunch of time with. She's an absolute sweetheart. Sean Baker, I missed. I'm so bummed I missed Sean Baker because me and Sean Baker had like a video series back and forth where it was me watching him react to me, and then it was him watching me, reacting to him, reacting to me. We did like this Inception thing, and I'm so bummed I missed him. So bummed I missed him, but I'm very pumped. I'm very excited for Meat Stock next year. It's going to be a biggie. It's going to be a biggie. You think you have it bad, brother? It's close to 100 every day here, and it keeps also pouring rain. It wasn't visually pretty out in the woods here. I would think I live in hell. I know, Rob. I lived in Austin, Texas. I lived in Austin, Texas back in like 2009 to 2012. And as a native Pennsylvanian, me moving down to Texas, it was a very large adjustment. I think the roughest one for me is like up here in the Northeast, no matter how hot the day is, it can be 100 degrees up here during the day. Like clockwork, overnight, it's going to go down into the 60s and 70s every single night. So, if you make it through the day, you go swimming, you stay hunkered down the AC, as soon as nighttime comes, it's going to cool right off and be fine. I think one of the biggest things about Texas that I never got used to is the fact that at midnight, middle of the night, dead middle of the night, it was still 100 degrees. Like, it just never went away. Austin ain't as bad as East Texas, dude. East Texas is no joke. I worked in Beaumont. I worked in Orange. I worked in Lafayette. I've literally worked everywhere in Louisiana. Shreveport, Lafayette, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Breaux Bridge. Crazy, Rob, I'm very curious. I don't know how much you know the I-10 going into Louisiana. Do you know a little restaurant? It's right off the I-10 in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, called Crazy Bout Crawfish. It is one of my all-time favorite restaurants in the world. It is so fun. Sean Baker had to leave the first day at 2 p.m. Yeah, and you know what it was? I saw him, and he was with a group of people talking, and I said, I'll wait till he's done talking to those people, and I'll go introduce myself, and we can talk. And I turned around, and me and my wife got conversing with another couple about something, and I turned around, and he was just gone. And I said, you know what? Oh, well. I said, I wasn't worried about it. And then when I turned around, I saw him walking across the parking lot. I said, okay, maybe he's just done for the day. I'll catch him tomorrow. Well, lo and behold, that's my mistake that Sean Baker was not there the next 2 days. He was only there that first afternoon, unfortunately. So hopefully I'll be able to meet him in the near future here. Potentially, I'm going to try and reach out to him maybe for an interview. I think that would be super fun if he does interviews or whatever, but I'd like to coordinate with him. Kind of go from there. Me stock next year will be crazy, 6K people or more. I have not been yet. We'll see if I can afford to go next year. That's the only thing, Simple, is it's sounding like the cost of this next one coming up is going to be so high between hotels and fuel and everything else. Like, it's going to be expensive next year. Me and my wife have already started our fund. We've already started a savings just for Meat Stock next year because we're also going to do a Gatlinburg trip while we're down there as well, and possibly maybe Knoxville, and just treat it as a vacation along with just, a broadcast thing with the event itself. I lost my whole train of thought. Forgive me. But yeah, we already started saving up because it's going to be very expensive. We're already planning, I think this year, 2026, Meat Stock all together, we probably spent hotel, fuel, gas, everything else, the event itself, all of it. We probably spent close to like $3,000 this year. And I'm expecting next year to be hopefully not double that, but man, I'm expecting at least like $4,000 for that trip by the end of the day. Very much expecting it. I don't know almost anything on the Louisiana Senate I-10, but I mostly know it up to the border. Louisiana troopers like to prey on Texas drivers for fines, so I really don't go. Gotcha. That's one thing I noticed is Texas, when you hit not the I-10, but the back routes that go from Texas into Louisiana, on the Texas side, the speed limit is always 75 miles an hour. And as soon as that Louisiana border crossing happens, that drops down to like 55 immediately. And those little, they sit right behind that border sign just waiting. I mean, it's literally a cheat code. They have unlimited tickets they can write all day long because everyone comes through there at 75. They don't realize and say, oh, there's the 55, I'll slow down. And there's no time to slow down. You're in a different state, so there's no warning sign saying 55 ahead or something like that. I remember getting zapped there like probably as far north as like Alexandria, Louisiana. I used to get zapped there all the time going across. It was so annoying, so annoying. I paid so many tickets to Louisiana. There's a cooking experience that comes with room and board. Jenny mentions along with Chris Cooking Nashville is putting together with a host of other creators. Yeah, simple. I saw something about that. I saw that they were putting together like kind of a back channel little thing. I also heard the VIP tickets for Meat Stock itself are nowhere near as inclusive this year. The VIP tickets for 2026, you had like your own cabin. They had special meetings with all the creators and stuff after hours. The VIP experience this year looked amazing. Next year, it's looking very We just did basic tickets again, so. The cooking experience alone is $1,700 early bird price. CCN has a $50 off code, but it comes with a room and board. Still need MS tickets. Yeah. I feel you. It's expensive. It adds up quick. And then Gatlinburg, especially because Gatlinburg is such a little tourist town. We were finishing Meat Stock. I think Meat Stock ended at 5:00 every day. So we would finish Meat Stock and then we would go out and explore. We just would walk Gatlinburg. We'd be on the go at Meat Stock from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then literally out and about in Gatlinburg from like 5 p.m. to like 2 in the morning a couple of the nights. So much fun. I'm so bummed it's not going to be in Gatlinburg again, but I understand. It's a growing thing. It's getting bigger, and sadly, the convention center in Gatlinburg just cannot handle the size and scope that it's going to be this year. They have the balls to find us, so they can still drink and drive. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Only stretch of I-10 I've been on is from 65 to the exit where Buc-ee's is on the way to the Gulf Shores. Gulf Shores, Alabama. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. That's Alabama, right? I worked in Alabama a little bit, not much. I think I worked in Alabama for probably like 2 or 3 weeks. I had a ton of fun there. I thought Southern Alabama was a blast. I had so much fun there. Of course, we hit Biloxi on the way back through. We went and hit Biloxi, Mississippi on the way back through. I spent some time in New Orleans. I spent a lot of time working down south. The one thing I don't miss is the heat. That's the one thing. We're back there in October. No, it's nice. It's a good time of year to be down there. I don't think I could handle it this time of year. It's just so hot down there. But during the wintertime, I would love to be there. I would love to get a place down there. Anywhere on the Gulf Coast. Just anywhere, somewhere Gulf Coast, even if it's Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Probably not Mississippi. I live in central Indiana, basically Indianapolis. Gotcha. Yep. Are you driving down to Meat Stock? You going to drive down or are you going to fly down for Meat Stock? I'm curious. We're going to fly down the next time because, man, that was a drive. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania myself, and it was, for us going to Meat Stock this year, we drove the whole thing. It was like 13 and a half hours in the car. 13 and a half hours. It was a haul. It was an absolute haul. My truck broke the week before Meat Stock. My wife, her SUV broke 3 days before we left for Meat Stock, so we ended up having to borrow a car. We borrowed my mom's Subaru, which is a tank. Her Subaru is a tank. It is a beast. It'll make it through 3 feet of snow. It's a monster, but that SUV has zero soundproofing. It's one of those ones when you're going down the highway at 75 that just does the whole way. And oh my God, it was such a miserable drive. The air conditioning barely worked in it. Like it was an experience. Gatlinburg was an experience for us. Nashville's only 5 hours. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's a super easy drive. Gulf Shores takes us minimum 12 hours. That we go with our whole family, so it takes us like 20 hours. Yeah, that's a long haul. It'd be a bad idea for you to have a vacation spot in Texas your buddy Ron would be visiting too often. Well, that's the point, Ron. That's the whole point. You talking about that like that's a negative. We be homies, Ron. We be homies, my friend. I don't know if I could go back to Austin. I used to love Austin. Austin seems like it's kind of changed quite a bit since I've left. Like late 2000s Austin, like 2008, 2009, 2010 Austin, like, man, that was a special city. Maybe San Antonio. I would consider getting a winter place in San Antonio. Austin, maybe. Florida, probably not. You know, I've never been to Florida. I have actually never been to Florida once in my life. However, I will be attending Hack Your Health this year in Tampa. November this year, the Hack Your Health event. Leftiesville, yeah, for sure, Benny, for sure. It's not quite the same town. It's not quite the same town it used to be. It's also grown a lot. Austin was expanding at like a ravenous rate while I lived there. You could literally see, like, every time you left the city of Austin when I was there were literal highways being built into nowhere. There were just highways and housing projects and all this stuff. It didn't matter where you went. You went northeast, you went southwest, you went east, you went due north. Like, it didn't matter. When you got to the outskirts of that city, it was just construction. Construction. That's all it was. The city was expanding so fast. I don't even know what the population is like. Actually, let's take a look at what the population is like now. When I lived in Austin, it was around like, I want to say 650,000 people. I'm curious. Population of Austin, Texas. Aston, Texas. People from San Antonio will say it's so crime-ridden. How can you like it? Yeah. Probably 3 million now, I bet. It was growing so fast. Austin was growing so fast while I was there. 1 million on the dot. 1.002 million. That's crazy, though. That's still a population growth of like 450,000 in like 15 years. That's insane. Alamo City, thanks you for your kind words. There you go. There you go. See, I was expecting bigger. I honestly thought it was going to grow more. Oh, again, my big head is blocking everything. So there we go. It's 1 mil. Again, this is just Grok. So take this with a margin of error. This is literally just a Grok search tab right here. I was expecting more though. Keto Simple. I figured your guess would have been a lot closer to mine. That 3 mil sounded right, but I mean, still a population growth of 450,000 over the course. 350,000. 350,000 over the course of like 15 years. That's still a lot. For how big that city was, like, it's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. All the tech stuff moved there. I know most of the tech stuff moved to Austin. It's just headquarters for a lot of different stuff. A lot of streamers, a lot of Twitch streamers are based out of there because no income tax. Texas has no income tax, which is phenomenal. That's why I want to kind of live in Texas or Florida again, because they don't have income tax, which would be very nice. San Antonio benefits from not being too dry or too wet. And it's not inside the Texas Triangle. Yeah, for sure. You know where I wouldn't live in Texas? Waco. I remember driving through Waco. I think I worked in Waco one day just to kind of go and see what it was like there. I think the only time I've actually ever seen a true 10-gallon hat was in Waco. I remember driving past a gas station in Waco, and this man's cowboy hat was so tall. I'm like, he can't, like, this is a joke, right? He's not just like actually wearing that, right? He was in fact wearing like a 10-gallon hat, and oh my God, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Waco, I feel like, is the cliche idea of Texas that everyone has in their mind before they've actually been there. That preconceived notion of what Texas and its population is like, I feel like is Waco. I feel like Waco absolutely is the place for that. DFW, I did not spend much time. I've been out to Odessa, Midland. You would be more comfortable weather-wise somewhere between Austin and Amarillo? Yeah, for sure. Oklahoma, I'm telling you, I actually enjoyed my time in Oklahoma too. I spent a lot of time in Southwest Oklahoma responding. I sold generators, backup home generators, power equipment, and stuff like that. And we always responded to storms. So if a hurricane hit, we loaded up semis full of generators and went down and sold generators during the storms. Ice storms, big ice storms that knocked out power, we used to respond to those with semis full of generators. And Oklahoma had a massive ice storm in 2010. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been 2009, but Oklahoma had just a massive ice storm. I remember being there. We ended up going back and working the area a little while later, and it was fun. Everyone I ran into in Oklahoma was super, super nice. Louisiana, too, of all places. Actually, Louisiana kind of went both ways. Louisiana in the backwoods, actually not even the backwoods, Lafayette and like a lot of places, Alexandria, Shreveport, everyone I met in Louisiana was incredibly kind. The people of Louisiana are absolutely amazing. Their food culture, their state culture, their heritage, all of it's amazing. That being said, the most fearful for my existence I have ever been from like crime and stuff like that, East Jefferson Davis Parish, New Orleans. Oh my God, I will never, and I mean never, return to East Side New Orleans ever again. Horrifying sight to see. Now again, this was what? When was Katrina? Was Katrina 05? It was not too far after Katrina. Okay, Katrina. After Katrina basically just decimated New Orleans. You can still see the water level marks on the side of the buildings in New Orleans while I was there. West Texas is always dry and hot, but 20 degrees cooler in the shade. Yeah. 2005, I was right. 2005. Yep. You could literally see. So I was in Louisiana. It'd only been like 4 years since Katrina went through, and you could literally still see all the watermarks on the buildings and stuff. Crazy times. Crazy times. But I was very fearful for my life one night in East Jefferson Davis Parish. I'm not gonna lie. Not looking at TikTok. Nolans is a shit. Oh, it was way before Katrina. Yeah, it's an interesting place. We went and I've been down and did like the classic Bourbon Street and French Quarter experience and got way too drunk one time. Yeah, so I did that, and I'm going to be completely honest. I think I would love to see bourbon. I would love to see bourbon. I'd love to see French Quarter again, but not in the party sense. I don't want to go down there overnight and go drinking and all that stuff. I'd like to see the food culture during the daytime. Get some beignets, some stuff like that, some andouille sausages, like little étouffée, little crawfish étouffée. Oh my God, it sounds so good. I would love to see New Orleans from that perspective. When I saw New Orleans, I was a 22-year-old kid who only cared about alcohol and women. So if I were to go to New Orleans again, it would be a very different experience. But yes, East Jefferson Davis Parish, I will avoid. I wanted to visit Waco when Chip and Joanne Gaines were at their height. Oddly enough, I watched their stuff with my grandma. Interesting. Waco wasn't a bad town by any means. I just thought it was like cliche Texas. The minute I saw that 10-gallon hat, I said, wait a minute. Ain't no way that's real. Ain't no way that's real.
Active to that alpha gal. Now, let me be clear on this so that what I'm sharing here with you doesn't get misconstrued. Nothing that I'm suggesting in this does not mean that avoidance of the alpha gal molecule is not important.
Oh, it is. Avoiding ticks altogether is important.
Molecule, and that's an extremely important.
Avoid ticks at all costs, and even though ticks are pretty unavoidable, especially if you live up here in the Northeast like I do, ticks are a very, very, very predominant critter. They're very hard to get rid of. They're very hard to eradicate. So prevention can only go so far, whereas checks, the biggest thing you can do for ticks is just anytime you're outdoors, you're in tall grass, short grass, mild grass. Me and my wife have a system. Anytime we're out in the yard, out in the grass, messing around, gardening, whatever it may be, the biggest thing you can do is just check each other when you get done. Check each other for ticks, check each other for bites, because I don't know with alpha gal, I don't think there's any preventative or treatment for alpha gal, like mainstream, like an antibiotic or a pill you can take. Now, as far as Lyme disease, Babesia, all these other things that ticks can spread, doxycycline. So if you know you got bitten and you have a doctor that actually listens to what you say, anytime I get bitten by a tick, whether I have presenting symptoms or not, the first thing I do is call my primary and say, hey, I need 3 weeks of doxycycline. I just go through the paces. Now, as far as Lyme disease, if you catch Lyme disease at the initial onset, you do 3 weeks of doxycycline, you are going to be A-okay. You may have some residual symptoms for a month or two, weird cognitive stuff, but you'll generally 90% odds you're going to clear it out. My problem was is I had zero symptoms. I remember back around 2012 to 2013 time frame. I remember having an extremely bad flu in the middle of the summer, and that's all it felt like. I think that was actually my initial onset of Lyme disease. I didn't have the telltale bullseye rash. I didn't have any of that stuff. And what my Lyme specialist thinks happened is the Lyme got me. It felt like a really, really bad flu for a week or so. My body put it in check. It cleared everything up, and it all looked good. And then over the course of the next few years, the Lyme just spread and it spread and it spread through my whole body. And now it's to the point we just can't get rid of it. Unfortunately, because the type of bacteria that causes Lyme disease is called a spirochete, which is a corkscrew-shaped bacteria, and that corkscrew allows it to burrow into soft tissue, meaning it can get into your cartilage where blood flow is not, and antibiotics cannot flush it out. So it's a brutal system. Better to email or message you on X, Instagram. I'd say either email me or Instagram. Instagram message would work too. I need to remember to check my Instagram messages because it'll put you. It won't directly put you through. It'll put you in like the message request. But yeah, why don't you just do Instagram? Do Instagram, and I will check that as soon as I get done with stream. We're probably going to go, it's 5:30 now. We're about an hour and a half in. We're going to do about another 30 minutes on stream today. We're going to do about another 30 minutes or so, then probably call it good after that. I am going to take 2 seconds here, guys. I need to go refill my water. I don't want to get ticks. They would come in our cats. And that's the thing. See, Keto, I got it again in 2022. Hold on. Let me find the picture for you. I want to show you the picture. Let's see. I have to remember where the picture was. Oh, found it. So this was 2022. Sorry, I'm showing some skin in this picture. This was my infection. I'd already had Lyme disease for almost 10 years at this point. I was dealing with it. I was used to it. This time, my dog must have picked a tick up because my dog lays right on that leg when I'm in my recliner at night. And it probably fell off of him because we have him completely treated for fleas and ticks. It probably jumped right off of him onto my leg. That was the second time I got Lyme, and that is the telltale bullseye right there. Yeah, no, Keto, bee venom therapy is no joke. I'm actually considering bee venom therapy myself right now. It's something I've definitely looked into. I do go to a Lyme group. There's a local group of people dealing with Lyme disease that get together, and there was a woman that did a presentation recently on bee venom therapy, and it's very promising. It is extremely, extremely promising. I'm very excited to check that out. So I am considering doing that. But again, this was the time. So in this situation right here, you were actually extremely lucky. You were extremely lucky in this scenario because when the bullseye rash pops up, you already know what's going on. If you don't have a good doctor that listens to what you have to say and you get bit by a tick and you request doxycycline, they won't give it to you unless you have symptoms like this. So having the bullseye is a very, very good thing. It shows right away that, okay, I just got Lyme disease. It shows whatever doctor you go to. You can go to any walk-in in the U.S. and show them that and say, hey, give me doxycycline. They're going to give you doxycycline. Are you ready for the aftermath? This was day 2. Are you ready for day 3? Hold on. I'm going to show you day 3. That was day 3. Of round 2 Lyme disease right there. Look at that bite. And I'm a big dude. That's a big leg. That is a very, very big leg right there. My legs are enormous. Absolutely enormous. But yeah, no fun. Also, that bite right there, you could hover your hand above it and it was hot. It felt like my skin was boiling right there. It literally felt like it was boiling. Quite literally felt like it was boiling. It was so warm to the touch, it wasn't even funny. But luckily enough, I did my 21 days of doxycycline. Everything cleared up on that one. We got it blasted out fairly quick. But yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. Luckily, I mean, overall, most of my Lyme symptoms are fairly cured at this point. My cognitive stuff, the muscle fatigue, the brain fog, the heart palpitations, the problem with electrical signals in your heart. I was able to clear up all that stuff. The big thing that remains for me is the joint damage. I have severely, severely damaged cartilage right now. Unfortunately, once the damage is there, there's really only so much you can do. But that is my biggest problem persisting from the Lyme right now. That is absolutely my biggest problem. Oh my God, I just peeled my stress ball apart too. That's no good. That's no good. I'm peeling stuff off my stress ball. That's not good. That's not good. All right, we were trying to finish this video for like an hour.
You got to take away the immune trigger. But even when you do that, you're still not rectifying the dysfunction associated with the immune system.
Correct.
So simply avoidance alone is not going to fully explain why individuals have differences in symptom severity and why we see so much of a spectrum when it comes to reactions associated with alpha-gal syndrome. If you really want to understand alpha-gal syndrome, you have to understand...
It almost feels like alpha-gal... Oh, nature's insane. Nature's utterly insane. I feel like alpha-gal is one of those ones that affects people in such different ways, too. And it's the same with Lyme disease. Lyme disease, however, keto simple. You ever heard of Plum Island? You ever heard the Plum Island conspiracy theory about Lyme disease? I'm actually a firm believer in it myself. I am a very firm believer that Lyme disease is an engineered bioweapon. A lot of interesting stuff behind that. But yeah, the stuff nature comes up with is insane. Absolutely insane. But I do firmly and truly and deeply in my soul believe that Lyme is an engineered bioweapon that literally got out of containment. And, well, here we are. Did you get boils or peeling skin? Just morbidly curious. No, Benny, actually I did not. The only thing that affected my skin was the pictures I just showed you. That was the only thing I had going on in my skin. That time in 2022, it was very, very lethargic. I was having trouble with balance. I was having vertigo like crazy. Tinnitus. I was having really, really bad tinnitus, ringing in my ears, stuff like that. Cognitive function. My brain just felt like it was literally sifting through a swamp trying to come up with a single thought. It was really, really nuts. Really, really nuts. That's gnarly. It is. It is. I'm telling you. If you look into Plum Island with Lyme disease, I'm telling you, it's horrifying. It's actually horrifying.
At a deeper level. And don't think about the
because the core bacteria that is Lyme disease, Borrelia, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, Borrelia burgdorferi, something like that is the actual scientific name for the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. If you look back through history, they've found examples of that bacteria going back thousands of years. That bacteria is nothing new. It's existed for a very, very long time. They've even found it in Europe. But in its current form, it's nothing like what we're dealing with now. Nothing like it. And then you look into Plum Island and it all starts making sense. I got bitten by a red-headed centipede once. It felt like my bones were breaking in my leg for hours. Rather get one of those every day than Lyme disease. Yeah, you would much rather that than Lyme. Lyme just doesn't go away. If you get it and it goes undetected for years like it did for me, like, brother, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get sappy or anything here, but it never ends. It never ends. I have good days. I have bad days, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't end. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It really does. It really does. It's brutal. It's unrelenting. It just doesn't give you a day of peace. There's not one day that goes by where not some facet of my day is affected by it. It's brutal. It's a brutal illness. It's a brutal illness. And luckily, they're starting to do more. Number one, they're actually, chronic Lyme disease still to this day, isn't really even recognized as being a real thing. There are still many doctors where you tell them you have chronic Lyme disease and they'll just laugh at you and say there's no such thing. Well, on this very stream, probably 4 or 5 months ago, I think it was the tail end of January or the beginning of February 2026, RFK Jr. did a very, very big Lyme disease conference, and they are starting to recognize chronic Lyme, long-term Lyme, whatever you want to call it. And they're putting putting more effort and research into it. They are actually putting more behind it. So that's very, very good. This year is a good year for Lyme disease. I'm vaguely aware that it might be a bioweapon, just not up. Overall, I mean, I'll paint it a very, very basic way for you. Simple is Plum Island is a bioweapons, one of the chief bioweapons and biochemical warfare research facilities in the U.S. That it's an island in the Atlantic. This island is 12 miles off the coast of Lyme, Connecticut, where Lyme disease was discovered. Yeah. Do the math. One of the chief bioweapons facilities of the U.S., and all of a sudden this crazy disease comes up out of nowhere in the 1970s. Just all of a sudden starts ravaging everyone in Lyme, Connecticut, and now it's slowly spreading across the whole country. They're starting to find Lyme further and further south every single year, too. It used to be very, very isolated to the Northeast. Not anymore. It's spreading. Knowing what's been done to us in the past, it's hard to rule out. I'm telling you, like if you take a look, there's videos you can find on YouTube doing deep dives, but you take a deep dive into Lyme disease and Plum Island, like it's scary. It's scary stuff. Scary stuff. Too much stuff to be coincidence. Way too much stuff to be coincidence. That one of the worst diseases ever. I would not put it past alpha-gal being a bioweapon to reduce the meat consumption. Let's talk about theory that sounds absolutely bonkers to say out loud, but it could be. It could be. Look at how much overall they're trying to get the world to cut down on red meat consumption. Look what they're saying. You know what the biggest threat to the environment is? It's cow farts. Okay, not openly burning natural gas wells or what? Billions of vehicles on the road spewing exhaust, or tanker ships, or diesel trains, or airplanes, or all this other stuff that's bumping through fuel this fast and pumping out all this stuff in the atmosphere. No, the big risk is cow farts. Like, oh my God, make it make sense. Make it make sense. There does very much seem to be a very high level force or push to get red meat gone, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying. It's crazy to think about. It really, really
passive
is.
entity. The tick is.
We've been yakking so much. I think I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit.
Contaminated needle. It's not just the source that's introducing alpha-gal.
I can literally feel it. I can feel it in my throat. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I am starting to lose my voice.
And this is where you have to think about the full nature of the tick. Ticks evolved to be able to suppress and manipulate the immune system so that they can feed on whatever their host is. So as a part of that, that means that when they bite, when they latch on, that saliva is also going to contain compounds that are going to reduce the immune detection. Your immune system's just not going to be as efficient at surveilling.
I just got your message, Simple. I just got your message, so we're all good. I will message you back as soon as I finish stream. We'll coordinate on a date and time.
Response, make it less efficient.
We shall coordinate.
Going to inhibit the complement activity. I mentioned that a little bit earlier, but that is part of the initial immune response that is going to help destroy the compounds that are being introduced.
Kind of quiet government admission. They actually did talk about it in RFK's conference. It did come up a couple times. They're of course not going to admit guilt on something like that, but it was discussed. Just the fact that it was brought up at a conference at that high of a level. I'd really like to start doing more for Lyme disease too. I don't know how I can get involved or what I can do, but I would really, really, really like to start orchestrating some stuff for Lyme disease. Maybe just putting on some, even if it's like putting on local 5Ks for charity, stuff like that, to go towards research or other stuff. I really, really would like to get a lot more involved with it though. I really would, because it affects my life so much. I know how detrimental it can be to people. And I feel so bad as someone who's been dealing with Lyme for as long as I have, which, do the math, 14 years. I think loose estimate 14 years is how long I've been dealing with Lyme. The Lyme group I go to, you see the new people that are coming in and they're first starting to deal with it, and their eyes are starting to open as the scale of what they're facing and stuff. Just even being able to be there for those people and kind of comfort them and let them know that it can be okay and you can learn to live with it and all this other stuff. I think that's pivotally important, but I think overall there's a lot more I can do to get involved. I think there really is. And there was an article saying it is a moral necessity to spread alpha-gal syndrome through ticks. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Bill Gates is working on this magical Lyme vaccine and all this other stuff. Like, dude, it's just scary. I truly and firmly believe that Bill Gates might actually be one of the most evil people to ever walk the earth. I truly think he might be. This is why I can't have nice things. I literally have my finger all the way inside my stress ball. I just destroy stress balls. It's gone. I absolutely destroy every stress ball that I touch. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Also going to...
Not jets, oil tankers, automobiles, industry. Yeah, it's the cows. It's the cows. Cow farts are the problem.
Help control the inflammatory
it drives me insane.
And
it drives me insane
introducing these complement inhibitors so that doesn't work efficiently. You take all of those factors and put them together, and essentially what you end up with is a shift in how the immune system functions. And this is the part of alpha-gal syndrome that is so
that's literally behind the scenes pulling strings on your immune system. Like, that is so insane to think about. That not only is it giving you this allergy to meat, but it's also rewiring your immune system. Like, dude, that's not good.
And makes it much different than what you run into with traditional food allergies or food responses. Let's talk about why this matters even more for alpha-gal. And it's because allergic diseases, allergic conditions, to better state that, they're not driven by the exposure of whatever the immune system stimulus is, what would be called the antigen. They're not simply driven by the antigen. I'm going to get techie here for just a minute, but just stick with me.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I do this all the time. My big head is blocking everything. My big head is blocking the whole view.
My big head is in the way. Is influenced by how the immune system signals within itself, how cells that are called mast cells respond, how the inflammatory cascades
I have also heard of, just when it comes to talking Lyme disease, I've heard a lot about mast cells as well. Actually, my Lyme disease doctor is named Dr. Mast.
Inflammatory thresholds that are unique from person to person. And then also, what's the tolerance of the immune?
Showing up with Africanized killer bees. Everyone hold still. If he's showing any pictures, I'm going to be upset. Yeah,
how resilient is it? These are all factors that have to be considered in relation to alpha-gal syndrome, just beyond the exposure to alpha-gal. So the point is that this changes the nature of the questions. It's not simply asking, did the tick introduce alpha-gal? It's also asking, is the tick helping to condition the immune system more toward reacting to alpha-gal? And this is where the science on...
Dude, so the tick is literally debuffing your body for the actual condition itself. That's insane, dude. You're literally getting debuffed by the tick before it hits you with the big wallop. Insane. Insane.
This becomes interesting, and you have to, again, go back and look at the tick, because repeated tick bites, they're going to increase alpha-gal IgE levels. And so those IgE levels, that's more of the allergic.
Stacking debuff. Stacking debuff. You can get multiple bites, stacking debuff. You got to get them stacks off. You got to get them stacks off. It's going to be bad. Lyme, I don't think it's quite the same for Lyme. Lyme just like... You get infected again, and it's just your system's just flooded with the same thing again. Is kind of really the problem there. But it's not like a stacking thing like this. Although it could be. Although it really could be. I don't know. I wish I could speak on Lyme more proficiently about how it actually affects your like body systems and immune system and stuff like that. I wish I was more knowledgeable there. I'm more on the symptom side and what it does to your body and stuff like that. But like, the scientific side of it, I'm very lacking. Very lacking.
So what this says is that the immune system, each time you are bitten by a tick, the immune system is continually being shaped by those exposures. Each bite makes you more and more and more reactive to alpha-gal because of the nature of what that tick is doing to the immune system, not simply just because it's introducing alpha-gal. It's probably somewhat ironic that I'm having this conversation with you today about alpha-gal syndrome, because literally last night, sitting at dinner, had finished up talking to my family, and I feel something on the back of my neck, reach back, pull off a tick. Lone Star.
I've already pulled 3 off of me this year. Just 2026 alone, I've already had to pull 3 off of me, man. They are unrelenting. Truly unrelenting.
And thankfully, it hadn't bitten me, and I killed the tick and moved on. But
another thing they used to say about Lyme disease is one of the most untrue things there could possibly be, is they used to say that a tick has to be latched onto you and burrowed in for 24 hours minimum to be able to transmit Lyme disease. So violently untrue. A nymph, a baby tick, nymph, fresh out of larva stage, was they're literally the size of the head of a pin. You can't even see these things. Literally, they're starting to find that even the nymphs can transfer the bacteria. The
I couldn't think of anywhere throughout.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm getting grumbly and gravelly.
I'm losing my voice. Would have exposed me to that tick, but yet it was there. Maybe one of my dogs. I don't know. But the point is that
dogs a lot. They come inside clinging the cats, dogs, whatever else, and they go for you.
Easier to get exposure to these ticks, maybe, than what some consider. The interesting thing about that is that tick hadn't bitten me at the time that I pulled it off. And when you look at the feeding patterns of ticks, one of the things that we need to note is that ticks have to remain attached to you for a long enough period of time to actually have an adequate feeding response for them. And the way that they can do that is when they inject in those immune modulating compounds, those are having a direct effect in and around where that tick is biting at, preventing the immune system from carrying out its role efficiently. So
how crazy is that?
Immune response locally around that bite is much different than what it should be because of what the tick injected in. And over time, the more times you get bit, the more that amplifies and continues to spread throughout the body and continues to push you towards more of an allergic response against alpha-gal. And maybe likely other factors too.
Stacking debuffs, dude. This is crazy. Rom, thank you. This is a very good video. This was a Rom suggestion. Rom suggestion. Very, very good video.
Sensitization does not equal a consistent symptom pattern across the board. And this is why individuals have such variance when it comes to symptom presentation related to alpha-gal. But this is not the only reason. You also have to factor in that the person that is being bitten by that tick, their immune system is also influenced by other factors. There's the inflammatory burden. There's just how resilient the immune system is. There's the stress on the nervous system plays a role here. There's the nervous system.
Must be some relation to feeding time and severity of illness. Yeah, it would make sense. That would definitely make sense.
Relationship that come in. Is this person sleeping? Does this person have other co-infections that are a problem?
Yeah.
Is their gut permeable, meaning do they have some imbalance of the microbiota in their gut and an inflammatory response related to that? All of these things are going to alter the way that the immune system reacts, but they also equally help explain why there's such drastic variances when it comes to the symptom presentation for alpha-gal. But my main point here is that this is driven by the changes that the tick is initiating to the immune system. This changes the approach for alpha-gal syndrome from simply to just avoid meat to really asking, why is the immune system responding this way in the first place? And again, avoidance of the alpha-gal molecule, that is absolutely critical. You have to do that. So again, I'm not saying don't avoid the molecule.
However, avoidance only goes so far. Avoidance really, really, really only goes so far because I am careful. I check. I stick to non-tall grass areas as much as humanly possible. I do all these preventative measures, and I've still pulled 3 ticks off me this year. Prevention still, like you're saying, it's still critical. You still always want to be checking. You always want to be keeping tabs on it. You want to have a doctor that's literate in all this stuff, but at the same time, prevention only goes so far. It truly does.
You have to. But I am also saying that many individuals
I stay indoors like a champ. I know that was my strategy the last 5 years. But now that I've lost 150 pounds, I'm starting to want to go outside all the time. There's so much to do out there.
Recognize that there is
all these amazing things I forgot about over the years.
Just exposure to that alpha gal that's also influencing their symptoms and how their immune system is responding. And it's interesting to me when you read into the medical literature on alpha gal syndrome, the available data out there says that's true. That's exactly what's going on.
Insane.
There's more to this story than simply that alpha gal molecule being introduced. Instead of only tracking what did I eat or what were my...
Did you get a roll of duct tape to wrap around your ankle and calf sticky side? Now, I've done that before. I do, if I'm going to be in the deep woods, I do go long pants. I do a tall socks. I kind of tape off around there. I've never done the reverse side, so they'll stick to it. But here's the thing. And I'm not saying that wearing long sleeves and gloves and long pants and all this stuff is worthless. I'm not saying that at all. I do it myself. However, all that extra clothing and folds in clothing and all this other stuff, it's another place for them to cling on to and hide out and get back with you. So again, the biggest thing you can do is just check. Anytime you're out in the grass, anytime you're doing anything, me and wifey, we have a lot of fun with it. We get home from events and stuff like that when we're out in a field party or something like that. And first thing we do is strip each other down and tick check. Tick check. I'm a big fan of tick checks, unless perhaps we find one, then they're not so fun. But Dr. Barry had a video on Alpha Gal. I have not watched it yet. I don't think I've seen that one either, Simple. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Exposure points for Alpha Gal.
It was a huge talking point at Meat Stock. There was a lot of talk on it on Meat Stock. I got some very valuable information on it there.
What else is happening in my environment that could be influencing my immune system when my reactions become worse? Alpha Gal is not simply just about the exposure. It's about how reactive the immune system has become around that exposure. If the tick is doing more than simply introducing alpha gal, then maybe alpha gal syndrome is more than just a meat allergy story. Maybe it's also a reflection of how the
gators and snakes. You know another big one? Possums. Possums literally devour ticks. Possums, chickens, guinea hens, all that stuff, man, they love eating ticks up. They absolutely love eating ticks. And that's why I can't wait. I'm getting a flock of chickens next spring. I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait.
Is responding under the surface. And in the next video, I want to explore why many people may be thinking about alpha gal syndrome far too narrowly, because the reactions themselves may be pointing towards a much larger conversation.
I think there are never-ending conversations to be had on ticks.
If you listen to mainstream media today, you think that all your friends already have alpha gal syndrome and you're going to get it any day. You're hunkered down.
We've got possums around here. Our outdoor cat has made friends. Yeah, possums are awesome. I love possums. They're one of my favorite animals. They're so cool. Such cool little critters. I wish they had longer lifespans. They only live a couple years. It's unfortunate. I would love to have a pet possum, but again, they only live to like 3 years old, I think. And I would hate making friends with one, then it dying off that quick. But they do eat ticks like crazy. All right, so this is the one you were just talking about. This is Ken Berry's look at Alpha Gal. Unfortunately, this one is an hour long. We're not going to have time to tackle this one today. Again, I'm starting to lose my voice. We'll probably go for another couple minutes here. I'll just kind of freestyle a little bit. We'll get some music going on and go from there. Oops, I opened a program I did not want to open. I do not need my mouse controls. All right, there we go. We have it all. I will flood the woods with guinea fowl, opossum, and rattlesnakes. Step lightly, tread lightly, tread lightly. Oh my God, I accidentally opened up, there you can't really see it. I opened up, I have a very nice gaming mouse. I just opened up the command center for it. And oh my God, it takes like an hour to open this program sometimes. Boom, 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 boom. Summarize the video. This video, led by Dr. Ken Berry and Nisha Salisbury, aims to demystify alpha gal syndrome, an allergy to mammalian meat triggered by the bite of a Lone Star tick. The host emphasized that while the condition is real, the mainstream media's portrayal has created excessive fear and panic. Understanding alpha-gal is an autoimmune response to a single sugar molecule, galactose alpha-1, 3-galactose, found in mammal products like beef, pork, and dairy. It's not an infection, nor is it related to Lyme disease. Debunking myths. A tick bite does not automatically lead to AGS. Testing positive for alpha-gal antibodies does not necessarily mean you have the clinical syndrome. Up to 90% of people who test positive may not actually experience symptoms after eating mammalian meat. That's pretty cool. This actually seems good. Actually seems pretty good. Dietary advice, practical, let's see. Symptoms, reactions are often delayed by 2 to 6 hours and include hives, vomiting, or swelling, making them difficult to connect to specific meals. Yeah, that's tough. If it's that far behind when you eat it, that's really tough. Dietary advice, even those with true AGS, there are many animal-based foods that remain safe to eat, including poultry, fish, seafood, and eggs. Proper human diet, low-carb, carnivore can support overall health, potentially help manage autoimmune conditions. Practical tips, protect yourself from ticks using natural sprays, wearing long-sleeve pants in wooded areas, and conducting thorough tick checks after being outdoors. There you go, tick checks. Tick check! I love a good tick check. I love a good tick check. I truly do. I truly do. The host cautions viewers against online scam protocols, promising a cure for AGS. Knowing that these are often financial gimmicks, they encourage an irrational, calm approach to tick exposure and a focus on maintaining a healthy, low-inflammatory lifestyle. Yeah, Ken Berry's awesome. I got to meet him at Meat Stock 26. I got to meet him there, and I only got to talk to him briefly. I literally got to talk to him for like 2.5 seconds. Incredibly nice guy, though. Super, super nice guy. I did not meet his wife, but awesome people. Super, super awesome people. I will not fear the tick, but the tick should fear my legions of guinea fowl. Hell yeah, Rob. Hell yeah. All right, my friends. On that note, we are going to be calling it for the evening. We're about 2 hours in. I don't know if you can tell my voice is getting a little raspy here. My voice getting a little raspy. It's so hot and humid down there that normally I'm good to go for longer, but wifey's coming home with some dinner here pretty quick. Hopefully my meat aversion is going to clear up a little bit. We did talk on that. Again, I am happy to be happier today. Again, apologies for anyone that was in Wednesday's stream. I was kind of in a depressive episode and just not myself and having a day. I was having a day. And like I said, I will keep that VOD active. I will not hide down days. One of the biggest things in my weight loss journey that I do not want to hide is the bad days. I do not want to hide the bad days because everyone going on this path is going to run into it themselves. You truly, truly are. And I want to make sure that I'm showing every single facet of this journey to its fullest. So on that note, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. This has been an amazing stream. Simple, Geek, all the new people that came by today. It's so awesome to have you guys here. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I'm a simple guy, but we have some good laughs around here. We have some good laughs. Simple, I will respond to your message as soon as I finish stream here, and we will figure out a date for a live together. I'm super excited for that. Rom, you're an absolute beast. Awesome video suggestion. Rom and his legion of guinea fowl. His legion of guinea fowl. Betty Bob, Bucky, everyone, just don't become like Reed. Yeah, we won't be doing Reed things. We won't be doing Reed things. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I will be live again Monday at noon Eastern. Noon Eastern on Monday. We still do one daytime stream a week. That will be it. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay well fed, my friends. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe out there. I love you. And we'll check in soon.